Okay, is that better? Let me know in the chat. Let me know. Let me know. Does it sound better now? Sorry, my mic was muted as well. It's not muted anymore. Let's have a real look. Let's have a look real quick. So just let me know if you can hear sound now. Just tell me in the chat or tweet me or whatever. Come on. Where's the sign language in it? um. Come on, YouTube. Stop being so friggin' slow. My mic was muted as well. According to the replay, my sound's working now. I don't know if it's working for you guys. Better. Yep, you're good. Finally. Okay. Hi, guys. Apparently, I was muted for the first 3 minutes. That sounds really embarrassing. And now Tom's now here as well. Hello, Tom.
Is the mic working?
Yeah, I think it's working now. I think it's because my foot is right next to the USB where my webcam is, which probably isn't ideal. But I think we're working now, according to everyone else. Everyone says sound. Apparently. So yeah, you're stuck with me and the Spaniard for the next couple of hours. I hope you guys maybe you guys can get used to that.
Yeah, I'm talking Spanish all the way through.
Yeah, it's not helpful, Tom. Believe it or not.
Really? I don't think so.
If you say so, mate. If you say so.
Yeah, what do you think of MotoGP today? Well, about bikes in general.
Oh, bit of a dull race to be honest. Not much really went on at the front. Marquez looked surprisingly human for once. I mean, the whole thing with sliding around, which is his riding style, doesn't really fit Renault as a track. It's much more of a Yamaha track. So, the fact Pedrosa won was all the more impressive, even though I think Lorenzo was coming back at him towards the end. But he just ran out of laps. Yeah, it was more of a tactical battle than anything that was really that thrilling. The main actually came from the two Bugattis. Iannone and Dovizioso in fifth and sixth. That was where the most fun was on track. But Pedrosa was kind of overdue a win. So like, I'm kind of a little bit bummed about it because like that was the only intriguing thing left about this season because Marquez still has a 77-point lead. I think it's just a formality when it comes to the title. It's a matter of when he wins it, not if he wins it. So it's more a matter of when, not if. And the only really intriguing thing going on about this season was, could Marquez win every single race? And now, obviously, that's not going to be a thing. The season now kind of feels a bit flat in a way. Kind of a bummer, really.
Yeah, I guess there's not much more on the play. I mean, Pedrosa's got his win. I mean, technically Honda are still 100% in terms of win record. Yamaha haven't won a race yet, so that's obviously something that they've got to try and change. But obviously, I guess within Yamaha, Rossi's still got to prove that he's still got it. Maybe try and get a race win, and Lorenzo's got to try and prove that he still wants to win. Because let's be honest, that Yamaha is a very average bike, I'd say. So I think they're outriding it most of the time.
There's no doubt now that Honda's got a better package than the Yamaha do, and I think Honda are just stronger across the board in general, to be honest. I mean, people are arguing and saying that, I thought the bikes were more equal, but if a team's won 11 Grand Prix to 0 to the other factory Yamaha, it's a bit conclusive, really, that Yamaha isn't as strong a package as the factory Honda is, which is kind of a shame, really. And, I think. But the thing is, though, what makes up for it is the fact that both of their riders really like that bike. So it kind of makes up for the bike not being as strong performance-wise. Because, Lorenzo at his best can easily drag that thing up a little bit more than what the bike's actual limit may be. So he could go down that road if he really wanted to. But when one team's beating you 11-0 this season, it's not a good look.
No, obviously the Yamaha's quality page pretty much confirms that they haven't got a very good package this year. Because they don't seem to be qualifying all that well.
Half the time this season it's been like they've not even had the fastest Yamaha. Like in Brno this weekend, it was Bradley Smith who was top Yamaha. A lot of the times it's been Alicia Spargaro because he's on that open class forward Yamaha, which means he can qualify in softer tyres, which kind of helps. So it's not totally fair on factory Yamaha because they're not running the same compound tyres, but it's still not good when they're not even top Yamaha in qualifying half the time, and it makes it more difficult for themselves.
How many races are left? Because I don't watch MotoGP much, but I think they're about just over halfway. I'm guessing.
Seven races left. It's an 18-race season. They've done 11, so it's Silverstone in 2 weeks' time, and that's next on the calendar. But there's 7 races to go.
The only way I think there's a bit of a championship is if Marcus has a crash.
It would have to be a very serious injury. Because
nothing.
Yeah, because Rossi broke his leg a couple of years ago. Only missed 3 races. So, like, even a massive injury doesn't put you out in terms of bike racing for a long time.
Yeah, I remember Lorenzo Assen last year broke his collarbone Saturday afternoon, came back Sunday morning and did the race.
Yeah, he was helicoptered to Barcelona, did the surgery, was helicoptered back to the track and rode the next day.
That's mad. That was just crazy. And he finished in the points. And that race was wet as well.
Yeah, he finished in 6th as well. It was a superhuman performance. But
even if Marquez had not a bad injury, just one normal crash, like where the front end goes and you're out of the race, 25 points might make a big difference. Bring it into that 40 number.
Well, it kind of was last year because in the middle of the year, Marquez had quite a big championship lead, and then what made things kind of interesting towards the end was what happened in Australia last year when Marquez got disqualified. And then Lorenzo won the race, so that was 25 points taken out of his gap, which automatically turned Valencia into a title decider, even though Marquez probably didn't deserve it, because somehow Repsol Honda, one of the most intelligent bike units in all the world, and no one there can count to 10. I mean, going to the chat real quick. Zonda's saying, they're funny, isn't it? People complain about Marquez being boring, and then the one time he doesn't win, it's the most boring race of the season. Yeah, funny that, isn't it?
The first part was alright. I mean, he had an average start, but him and Iannone really had a really good scrap, didn't they?
It was good for the first 5 or 6 laps, but then it died down afterwards when Pedrosa passed Lorenzo. That's when the race was pretty much over, and obviously Marquez. Bruno and the bike just didn't fit Marquez this time around by the looks of it. And, the top 4 were just pretty much doing their own races, really. It felt like an extended practice session.
Yeah.
Really. It was like I said, it was down to the Ducatis to provide the entertainment. Further back, it was Iannone and Dovizioso who were having most of the action. But, it happens. Like I said, Marquez. The funny thing is with Marquez is, despite people saying he's boring, he's also providing most of the entertainment because he's passing dudes in these spectacular ways, and he's coming up through the field because he's really conservative off the start line. Marquez, he doesn't gamble like guys like Iannone and Rossi do when there's a start. He plays it very, very safe, and more often than not, it costs him 4 or 5 positions, and he makes it harder for himself by having to come up through the field. So. If there's one thing you always expect, it's a bad Marquez start because he's very conservative. But yeah, it really was. It was the worst race of the season by some way. Question from Arsenal 2022. What do you make of the whole Rins incident? For those guys that don't know what happened in Moto 3, basically what happened. First of all, go watch that race because there was literally.
Is it the one where he put his hand up to win, and it was a lap earlier?
yeah, what happened was basically that it was a ridiculous race. First of all, there were 16 bikes within 2 seconds of each other during that final lap, and any one of about 16 dudes could have won that Grand Prix that day. And on the final lap, or as they come over the line to start the final lap, Alex Rins is in a very, very close drag race with Jack Miller over the line. And as they cross the line, Alex Rins raises his hand, punch in the air, thinking he's won, but there was actually one more lap to go, and everyone passed him in that pack. And then Rins had to very quickly realise that, wait, that wasn't the end of the race, and have to come back into the field. And then basically he actually climbed his way back up from 13th to 9th on the final lap, despite that mistake, funnily enough. But Rins had a shot at the win, and he threw it away. I mean, a lot of people were saying it may have been his pit crew, but the pit crew didn't get it wrong. Rins just got confused. He literally did not count in his head the amount of laps that was left, and he thought the race was over, and then he may have won. But turns out he was a lap early. Whoops.
Well, I don't really watch. I do watch the lower categories, but I was busy. I missed the Moto 3 race, but also I saw a glimpse. I watched the last few laps of Moto 2. Cortese in third. Nice. Impressive.
Yeah, that was a good performance from Cortese. He's a little bit nuts, Cortese, now and again. He's got a reputation for being a little bit crazy. But he pretty much just rode his own race and didn't have to worry about anything because the two Mark VDS bikes are all the way down the road, and his main threat was Sam Lowes, and Sam Lowes dropped off himself, and behind him it was Lucy was busy fighting with Agatha for the entire Grand Prix. So, you know, Cortese really had no one he could take out by himself.
I'll be back in just 2 minutes. I've quickly got to go do something. Try and get some people in here if you want.
Yeah, sure, why not?
Maybe 2 minutes.
Yeah, saying hi Sad and hi Garrett. Happy birthday, Dre. Thank you guys, much appreciated. What did I say? Happy birthday, much appreciated. If you got any questions for me and Mr. Martinez, and possibly anybody else who drops in, feel free. As my man Benji, it's a TMF Marduk, you may know him as. It's just sent me a message saying happy birthday on Skype of all places. So thanks, Benji, much appreciated. If you haven't subscribed to me, where have you been? But yeah, I'm living the life of a new 22-year-old. Well, 20 of you in the chat watching, awesome. Anyway, I hope you guys having a good one. Alex Southgate says, lol, fail from Rins, and I think that happened in another bike series as well. Yeah, I think it happened in World Superbikes a couple of years ago. I think it was at Mugello, where a guy went over the line, he went up like that, celebrating as if he's won, and everybody else just started flying past him, and only when he's gone round turn 1 does he realise, oh shit, there's another lap to go. I think it was Robbie Rolfo, I think it was. It may be somebody else, but I think it was in World Superbikes. I remember that being a thing. I saw it in a video montage one day. Oh, Eterno wants to come in. Okay. Let's see if we can get Joe Wilkes on here. You may know him as Eterno UK. He's a bit of a nuts dude. But we like him here. I like him. He's a good guy. So let's get him in here. Why am I not following him in the first place anyway? Jeez, I'm terrible. There we go. So Joe, if you're watching, check your direct messages on Twitter. I know you've been dying to get around the corner, so it's only fair, right? There we go. Yeah. That Alex Southgate pointed out it was Ricardo Russo from 2 years ago at Mugello. See, I knew I was close on that one. Okay, you getting anyone else on? Yeah, I'm about to get Eterno UK on here, hopefully. He was asking to come on. Cal's thinking about it, but I think he's got a bit of a headache, poor guy. Maybe his nuts are finally dropping. But we'll see what happens. Everyone else who I know well wants to come on, just send me a message or whatever. I know Tom Stanley said that he'd think about coming on after his truck race on Radical Racing. I know that Edward, you may know him as Bam It's Jesus and now Boosted ESC, the YouTuber who used to do a lot of iRacing content basically. He might come on in about an hour's time or whatever. He said he'd come on soon. So stick around. Hopefully it will get better in time. Question. Alex Afro is here. Hello, Alex. Good to see you, mate. Saying, what console are you getting FIFA 15 on? I'm getting FIFA 15 on Xbox One, more than likely. So yeah, basically, I'm getting an Xbox One for my birthday, more than likely, in the next probably 3 or 4 days, probably sometime next week. I know it kind of makes more sense to wait a little bit till the bundle comes out for it on September 26th, but basically, I want the Ultimate Edition for all the extra packs for Ultimate Team, so you don't get that if you buy the bundle. So I'm going to end up buying the game separately anyway, so I might as well just embrace that. Harrison himself wants to come on. Well, why not? Harrison, if you're watching, check your Twitter DMs. We'll sort something out. Tom's still gone somewhere. Apparently he's trying to get more people in, or whatever. Let's have a look here. For Life and Beyond asks, what's your opinion of Williams winning a race this year? Possibly. I think their best shot is coming up in about 3 weeks' time when they go to Monza. It seems as if Williams have the fastest cars in a straight line. So if Bottas gets his qualifying together, and Williams are really hard to pass on the straight line speed because they've got really fast cars in a straight line. Their aerodynamic efficiency is off the charts. So there's a chance they could very well win a Grand Prix or two. And Joe is here. Hello.
All right.
You've been begging for this one for ages, Mr. Wilkes.
Yeah.
You have finally come on here. Hello, sir.
Hi. And hi to everyone who's in the chat. So hopefully I'll be able to contribute something.
Yeah.
I'm not great on MotoGP. I watch a little bit of it, but quiet.
I've been getting some
Formula
Formula 1 stuff in now, so I wouldn't worry.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I said, why don't you introduce yourself for those that may not know you?
I'm Joe. You may know me from A Turner UK, and that's my channel. I've got about I'm nearly 1,000 subscribers now, so hopefully we can get there pretty soon. And I do I do a little bit of F1 2013, but my main series at the moment is F1 2010. So that's pretty good fun. Enjoyed doing that. So I started that when I was on about 300 subscribers, so that's got me a good way. And I'm not really. I've done a little bit of opinionated sort of things like the mid-season review. So if you do want to come and check out my channel, then do so.
That was the most shameless of shameless plugs, but I guess being on here is kind of by default, really, isn't it? Pleasure to have you on, Joe, for the first time. Let's have a look here in the chat. Okay. Dre, who do you think will win in Spa? I think the real question you got to ask me is which Mercedes do you think will win? For that, I will go to my handy coin. Because you might as well toss a coin, given the way this season's played out. It seems to be one or the other. I tend to lean towards Hamilton more often than not, so I'm going to say Hamilton. I know it's such a bold prediction of mine. I kind of want Williams to steal a win or two, but I think it's kind of unlikely. I'd like to see Williams win, but I think a lot of shit would have to happen for that to be a thing. So I think it's probably going to be Hamilton. If not, it'll be Rosberg. I know, I'm hedging my bet. We have our fellow Harrison in here coming in very soon as well. Mr. Harrison Whitworth, you may know from the MotoGP racing series, and he's a long-time friend of the program, so he'll be coming on very shortly as well. And Tom is back with us as well. representing. Question for Tom, I think, as well in the chat, was asking, who do you think will win the BPL and come 2, 3, and 4?
Everybody's saying Chelsea, and I ain't sure. I know it's my team, but based off last season, I'm being careful. I'm taking it easy because we beat City, Liverpool, Manchester United, all them ones, and then we lose against Crystal Palace, Norwich, Sunderland. So I'm just not gonna say nothing yet. I'm just gonna wait because Burnley tomorrow, that'll be a tough game. Newly promoted team playing at home. All right, that's gonna be a tough game. So
You think Burnley is going to be a challenge for you?
yeah. Oh, look at Everton. They drew against Leicester. Yeah.
Yeah, well, Everton aren't as good as Chelsea. We all know that.
Yeah. No, but no, you don't realise. Chelsea had the most players out of any team in the BPL to go to the World Cup. We got our last players back last week.
Yeah, I guess so. But I mean, I do have Chelsea as favourites. Like that's the funny thing.
I'm gonna say between Chelsea and I'm gonna have to go Man City. Arsenal, I think, will have a very good run. Possibly, I think they could have a proper go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Man U under Van Gaal didn't convince me the other day. I didn't like the look of that at all. And
how do you think I felt?
I was going to talk to you about this before the question came in, and I think it'll be. I'm hoping Chelsea will win. So me being a Chelsea fan, not trying to be biased, but hopefully I think we'll finish first. Then City will come second. I want to go Arsenal third, and I'm going to go Liverpool fourth. Liverpool been good, but the signings haven't been brilliant. I think the average players, except for Lallana, I think average players really. It's no really standout players. Lambert's old now. Manquillo, no one's really heard of him much. And no, it's all around in that 10 million mark kind of thing. I'm not saying I have to spend big money, but like Origi, he's still a bit young. I don't know. I thought if they're going to win the league, maybe they would have got a couple of big names in, but that's just me.
Just not.
And obviously,
Mr. Harrison Whitworth has joined us for the first
Hello.
time. Say hi to the viewers, Mr. Harrison. Well, say our fellow Harrison, I should say.
Hello, I'm Harrison. I have almost 30 subscribers. And,
Enormous amount.
yeah, and I know Dre mainly from IGP.
Yeah.
So, there we are.
He stalks me. So he sticks around. It's the first time he's ever asked me for it. So he's not like Joe who asks me like every week if we can come to the show or not. So I thought, why not? You got 2 cents on the title race, real quick.
Yeah. Well, before this weekend, I had Chelsea, City, United, Arsenal. But I think United are going to need another centre back.
two. I'll say 2 centre backs.
Yeah, they need just a leader at the back, someone like Vidic, who they just let go of, before they can get solidly into that Champions League spot. But yeah, with Costa at Chelsea, it's a nice problem to have, isn't it? Having so many people go to the World Cup.
Yeah, they're like Chelsea right now have got like the second and third best goalkeeper in the world under the same roof.
Yeah.
It is ridiculous.
And then I had Spurs at 5th, and as a Newcastle fan, I put them at 6th. But actually, after the performance today, that might not be actually be too optimistic.
That might not be a stupid prediction because Newcastle, I think, did very well against Man City today.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's his name? Cabella, he really impressed me, big time.
Yeah.
Not a fan of the haircut, but
it's comedy. What did you expect?
Yeah.
You like some?
No, but touching up on the Man U thing. I thought Herrera. I know you need a midfielder, but I think it was a bit unnecessary. 30 million, you could have spent that on a half-decent centre back, which you desperately need, because as you saw in the first half, three at the back didn't really work.
That's the thing, right? midfield was our biggest concern until we let go of Ferdinand, Vidic, and Evra all in the same window. Then all of a sudden, defence became the biggest problem because, good lord, Ashley Young playing football as a left back. No, kill.
He'd have to do a pretty big dive from way back there to dive into the box and get a penalty from way back there.
If it works for Tom Daly, it works for Ashley Young. No, but it was ugly. I mean, people said, oh, you shouldn't have had 3 at the back. It didn't matter. Our squad is already not that great to begin with. And on top of that, when half the first team is injured, it was always going to be a struggle. Like, we had Valencia was injured, Van Persie was injured, Welbeck was injured, Evans was injured, Luke Shaw was injured, Reece James, our backup left back, was injured, Raphael was injured. Do you see the pattern emerging here? Obviously,
what a great start.
A couple of months as well. So it's like half the first team is gone, and we had to resort to playing Tyler Blackett and Jesse Lingard as a right wing back.
But that's why you start players for backups in these kind of situations.
Yeah. Trust me, it was as ugly as it gets. Trust me. The less I talk about this game, probably the best it is for my health. I'm going to the chat real quick. Captain Andrew says, happy birthday, Dre. 7-year-old, another year wiser. Not with me, it ain't, but thanks anyway. Race Crasher saying, do you think one of the Williams will win in Spa or Monza? We kind of already half-asked that, but I'll ask it again in a minute. Frederick said, happy birthday, Dre. Hope you had a good one. Thank you, Frederick. Much appreciated. Thank you, Sean, as well. Thanks, Jibberboy1 and 8 as well. Thank you, guys. Much appreciated.
Right.
Kieran Jasper, predictions for the MotoGP Championship. Well, it's over now, really, isn't it? I mean, it's a matter of when Marquez wins it, not if, really. The interesting thing is who comes second out of Rossi, Pedrosa, and Lorenzo, more than anything else. But, you know, championship-wise, it's been dead for quite a while, to be honest. And if anything, you know, if Marquez did win this race, the gap would be nearly 100 points with 7 rounds to go. It would be ridiculous. But, you know, anyone want to chip in on that? I mean, have I kind of hit the nail on the head here, or am I missing something?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Pretty much, yeah, thought so.
Yeah.
Unless Marcus has a couple of crashes, or maybe has like a crash and then a race is finishing 6th or 7th, and maybe, you know, who knows. But so on paper right now, I think it's over. Obviously, I think next year will be good because I think Yamaha having tied down the drivers for another 2 years, they're pretty when they start working on next year's bike.
The thing is, well, Rossi's made it quite clear he wants to go until he's 40, and he's 35 right now, and he's already signed another 2 years. So the 2016 season will be his 20th in bike racing. That's nearly one of me, which is quite ridiculous when I think about it. But yeah, they've tied it down. But yeah, like I said, I think this year's pretty much dead in the water. Especially now the streak is over. Sad face, but. You know, next people. Oh shit.
No, going back onto the league thing we were talking about before. I said everybody's tipping Chelsea to win. I'm just.
Yeah, my bad. Camera kind of froze. But yeah, I kind of accidentally nudged my USB. Shit!
There you go.
Yeah, I was saying, everybody keeps tipping Chelsea with the league. I ain't so sure. Look, reason being is because I'm basing myself off of pre-season and last year's failure against lower teams. We play a formation with 4 at the back, which is very solid back 4, and we've got then 2 holding midfielders, 2 wingers, number 10, and the striker. I'm not a fan of having 2 holding midfielders and the back 4. It's too defensive. I know, obviously, Chelsea part of the bus, oh, big deal and all that, but I don't like it because, I mean, put it this way, we're struggling against Crystal Palace, Sunderland, and all their teams playing with practically 6 at the back, and they're beating us, and that's costing us the league. Surely, so something's not right playing that defensive role. I'm a fan of Man City. play two strikers, get loads of attacking players on there and score loads of goals, but obviously that's not Mourinho's mindset.
Yeah, just to pause a minute, we have Mr. Edward Callison in the call, everybody.
Hello, everyone.
AKA Bamit's Jesus, aka the harbinger of death to the F1. Say hello, Ed.
Hello. If you're on Twitter, you've probably seen somebody calling me an arsehole at some point.
Yeah, this is
I'm not loved.
that is almost a certainty.
Yes.
Also, we have Mr. Owen Quemby asking to join as well. Might get him in here. Mr. Owen T128, you may know him on YouTube, and the world's most dedicated Valtteri Bottas fan, which is now gaining support as attraction given his solid performances this season. The bandwagon is only going to get bigger because, as you know, if you want to win, employ a Finn. In the meantime, let's get some questions in. FIFA Banter Gaming. Are you excited for F1 2014? Not really. To be honest. Gentlemen?
I think the thing is with it, it's almost as if they've been forced to make it. Like the FIA, Codemasters have said, delay it till 2015, we'll make it early. And then FIA have said, no, you've got to make a game. And they're like, well, we'll just churn out 2013 with 2014 skins and car shapes, and that's what they're going to do, I think. and everyone's so excited for this expanded scenario mode, which went down a treat in 2013.
I still have not touched scenario maybe 10 months ago.
I think I actually did play it on like the first day, and then I pretty much completed it, and then you just like, well, that's it, and you can't really do anything more with it. So.
It would be better if you could up the difficulty. I think the difficulty on F1 2013, the max, is hard. You can't use legend. If they put legend on, that'd be hard because you can't actually it'd be hard to beat the AI. But
yeah, like the gold difficulty on for scenario mode is still way too easy. Just throw a platinum in there. That's the easy way of getting around that problem. It looks fancy and it's probably a little bit harder. So why not?
What I don't get is everyone's asking for harder difficulty. Make it harder.
They're putting it very easy.
And then they go for it very easy. Who asked for that?
To be fair, like guys like you and guys who in the AOR who are asking for a harder difficulty is a bit like Bill Gates going into a phone shop and asking for an Android, or going in there asking for an Apple.
I understand that, but easy is
why
very
is
easy.
the 0.1% of us that are better than Legend AI?
Yeah, the other thing you got to think about is, although everybody's sat there like, oh, the F1 community, like, we buy the games every year, the amount of copies they sell, we're such a tiny fraction of the people, and the rest of them are like 9-year-olds that are just flying into walls and like molesting other cars. So they need that easier difficulty, so that's why they put it in there.
Exactly. We are the vocal minority. Let's make that clear.
No, sir, I'm not mad that they put in the very easy, but if they're going to put in very easy, put very hard in.
Put very hard in as well. I know what you mean, yeah.
And everyone's happy.
Oh, come on, really? Such nitpick. Any Chelsea fans, you still have Torres to score goals.
Torres.
Yay, Ed's here.
Everybody loves Torres. Who doesn't like Torres? Come on.
Chelsea fans.
Who doesn't like Torres? Me. That is the biggest bust in the history of the Premier League. Now, let's take that back. Take that back. He's not the biggest bust in the Premier League's history. It's actually a photo just that's Shevchenko. He was a bigger bust than Torres ever was.
Torres, Shevchenko, Crespo, and maybe even Costa.
What about Andy Carroll? 45 million.
He's a kill.
And he hasn't kept fit for more than about 2 games.
Who? I didn't hear that.
Andy Carroll.
Andy Carroll.
Ooh boy.
Oh, the mighty Andy Carroll.
To be fair, at least Liverpool still got 15 million out of him at the end. You know, jeez.
Yeah.
He wasn't even worth 15 when they sold him. Saying yeah, happy birthday from Miles.
When I first saw Torres miss, I started to miss. I was angry, obviously, like any other Chelsea fan. But I feel sorry for him now because the media give him stick for anything negative and nothing positive. 50% of
But
it
he
now
works
was down to
hard,
the media.
That's such a valuable thing, Tom. He works hard. You know?
Well, I appreciate that at least. I'm like, how can I put it? I'd rather he work hard, at least help defend, which he can do very well.
Do Chelsea not have enough defenders though? You just said you don't like them playing 6 at the back.
No, but if you can't score, then defend.
But they had the best defence in the league last year. If they had a half decent striker, they'd have won the league by about 10 points.
Yeah, it was just like against the smaller teams. It was like we beat. Well, I'm a Stoke fan. That was.
At the end of the day, the whole Torres argument, there's only one person I can talk to about that, and that's my dad, because anybody else on the internet will slaughter me for talking positive about him. So
yes, he will gladly.
Yeah.
I mean, let's just put it this way. I saw Ibra miss an empty net the other day. No one said nothing.
Yeah,
'cause it's quite a rare thing.
It was Verratti's fault. It was a terrible pass.
Yeah, no, I mean, who puts a freaking post there anyway? Like,
It's not fair they put the post in there. He got in the way.
That's what they all say.
That's what they all say. Chelsea fans excited about Torres coming good is like Arsenal fans thinking Shamak and Bentner was the answer.
I never thought they were the answer. They were useless.
If any Arsenal fans,
now, anyway.
they have the great 5-star rated on Football Manager, Yaya Sanogo. Instead.
Oh,
God. Torres' goal against Barcelona in the semi-final away leg, that was just...
Okay, I'm gonna intervene here and throw an F1 question into the house.
Good, because I don't know fuck all about football, and I've just been sat here in my little corner.
Die of boredom unless I don't answer a Formula 1 question in a minute. But what do you guys make a spar? Is it going to be another Mercedes walkover?
Obviously.
I think Williams could be in there.
Yeah, I think Williams will be closer than they have been at
Wait,
previous races.
1 minute, fellas, one minute. Owen, who do you support again?
Yeah.
Bottas.
And no, the answer
There's no bias in that at all. Of course not.
none whatsoever.
No, I think Red Bull and Ferrari are going to be praying that they find something because they're going to be
They're probably
slacking.
praying for rain.
Yeah.
This is the one chance if McLaren use their joker and get their gearbox sorted, they could have a brilliant result in Monza and Spa. They can get themselves a couple of podiums, I think, if they play their cards right and they use their joker.
Well, somebody's got to have some faith in McLaren, right?
I like Ferrari, but I'd like to see McLaren back up there again. But
you know what's funny, right? I saw the list of what these drivers are all getting paid. Like Jenson Button is 5th on the list, getting paid like 16 million a season.
The thing is, I don't get why McLaren will keep him next season because the chances are it's not going to be a championship-winning car. They might as well just bring someone else in for a season.
Bring Stoffel Van Dorn in and see what he can do.
Yeah. I don't get. There's no point in keeping Button for that.
If I'm Ron Dennis, I'm calling a shareholders meeting and getting everybody together and saying, guys, fuck it, we're gonna rebuild. We're gonna go full rebuild. We're gonna put 2 young'uns in the car, and we're gonna build around them for the future and see what happens. Because right now they're sleeping in the Constructors' Championship. They're literally mid-table, exactly dead in the middle.
It seems like they need a. It seems like they need a rebuild every season.
Red Bull got a massive deal in Verstappen the other day, tying him down.
Yeah. There's already talk Max Verstappen might get a seat next year at 17.
That is crazy.
To replace who?
He's younger than me and he's getting a seat.
It looks like Vern's on the way out because
he's not going to get a seat anywhere else. Or not at Red Bull anyway.
I'm not entirely sure Vern gets a seat if he gets cut.
No, he won't.
There's not enough seats going anymore.
No.
Are there? Like,
There's not enough seats going
there's
around.
so many new people coming in, and they're all the rookies have done so well, or most of them, that there's just really not that many seats around anymore. Like.
Yeah, like even Marcus Ericsson, who is probably the worst rookie in the field, he has an 11th place finish. He matched Caterhill's best ever result.
He's got a better finish than Kobayashi.
Exactly. Kobayashi is bottom of the Drivers' Championship right now.
No, I think that's Maldonado. Isn't Maldonado bottom? I saw
No,
it.
he came
No, you got like a 13th or something.
Yeah.
Oh,
On countback, Kamui Kobayashi is on the bottom because Chilton has 2 13th place finishes and Kobayashi only has 1.
Yeah.
Fucking Chilton, man, he's on his way up there.
Let's go, Chilton! Lord Maximilian Chilton, the Viscount of Surrey.
well, the thing is, I've got to cut Chilton some slack. I thought he was bad, and then Ericsson came along.
Yeah.
Oh, Jules is the internet favourite, isn't he? You know, it's like, oh, Jules Bianchi's going to be so amazing in that Ferrari seat that they're already penciling him in. It's like, it's like we, the internet, have already got his seat fitted. And we're going to dump our beloved Iceman for him in the next couple of years. It's crazy.
Yeah.
I'm surprised no one has tied down any deals with Honda yet for next year.
Honda,
VTEC F1.
McLaren got exclusive.
Honda have already come out and said they're only going to
Exclusive.
buy McLaren next year.
Oh,
Just a one-off thing for now. Just the one. It's going to be an exclusive deal with McLaren for now, at least.
it's perfect, really. They might as well just throw in Van Dorn and see what they can do, I guess.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Or at least make a play for maybe Valtteri Bottas and offer him a bucket load of cash. Because Bottas is only getting paid like 1.5 million for the season.
Well, why would
I
he
do
go
feel
to
sorry for him.
McLaren? I think he paid so much money to go there when he's in such a superior car.
This is what I'm saying. Like, you save 16 million by not paying Jensen. So take some of that 16, put it in your back pocket, and say, "Here, Valtteri, we'll give you 8 mil a year to drive our shitty car."
I wouldn't want to see that.
Take our money.
People say, yeah, Hulkenberg to Ferrari and all this. Oh, wait a minute. Force India look on par with Ferrari at the minute.
Not really. Force India started strong, but they're kind of average again now.
Yeah.
No, but they're still very consistent. They're
consistently scoring minor points. Like, they're consistently coming like in 8, 9, 10, like maybe 7 in the case of Hulkenberg because he's that good. But
yeah, but let's be honest. Alonso is a massive exception. Compare him to Kimi Räikkönen, that's where the car is at the minute.
Yeah,
well,
both.
yeah,
It's just
Raikkonen doesn't give a shit anymore. It's obvious.
No. Well,
Raikkonen is packing in that 22 million euro a year paycheck he's getting now.
Raikkonen is the worst driver this season for points. He's getting paid the most amount.
Zaffro is here
per
saying
point.
Ericsson Championship 2017. Well, Miles Dyson, Verstappen getting a seat at 17, possibly. Is he even old enough to have a proper driver's license? In this country, it's 17. I don't know about what it is elsewhere, but apparently you can. All you got to do is drive. I think it's 75 miles in an F1 car to get a super license or whatever it is.
Where's he even from?
Verstappen, he's Dutch, isn't he?
Yeah, you have to be 18 in the Netherlands.
Fucking hell.
Yeah, he's Dutch because his dad was in Formula 1. Yeah, Josh Verstappen.
I think you can only drive at 18 in the Netherlands, so that'd be interesting, wouldn't it?
Yeah. We're getting all these new second generation drivers coming through now. we got Kevin Magnussen, who's obviously son of Jan. Don't get me wrong, it's not like Jan's career was amazing or anything, but technically he's second generation, so it counts. We've had Damon Hill, obviously.
Rosberg as well.
Rosberg, of course.
Okay.
and now looking like Max Verstappen on that list.
Carlos Sainz Jr. as well.
Do you think McLaren will win this season? No.
I don't think anybody.
Unless, like last year, they had some ridiculously good pace at Brazil and they somehow managed to pull something out of the bag, then.
Yeah, like Brazil last year was like there might be hope for McLaren because I think like Button and Perez came from like 14th and 16th to finish like 4th and 6th, and I was like, oh, there might be hope for McLaren after all, and no. They started great straight in. Oh.
It was like in Brazil 2012, they had the best car, and then they decided to change it all for 2013 because they thought everyone else would. And then everyone else kept the same, and then they were 2 years behind everyone else, basically. And then it's just been exactly the same.
I remember watching BBC 2013 season review, and they were interviewing Jenson Button, and they were talking about the testing for 2013, and he said, by the time we ended the first test, we kind of knew we were about 2 seconds a lap behind where everybody else was. And at that point, they all kind of knew it was going to be a struggle of the season. I still think Perez got a raw deal at McLaren, to be honest.
Yeah, I feel bad for him.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing with Perez was like, well, what were you expecting him to do? Like, were you thinking he was going to beat Jenson Button, who was already an established world champion in his own right? Because I think that's a bit of an unfair expectation for a guy in a new car. So what were you expecting out of him? That's what I was wondering.
They're expecting to fill Hamilton's boots and have a competitive car. They gave him the cold shoulder way too quick.
Yeah, I thought that too. And you know what the bad part is that this year at Force India, like Hulkenberg has like 70% of Force India's points. It doesn't look good for Perez.
Yeah, but Perez got the podium at Bahrain.
Yeah, like I think Perez has like 29 championship points, and I think 15 of them came in that one race. Something ridiculous like that. Gasly and Lynn, other Red Bull juniors, are doing better in their respective championships. I'll be honest, I don't watch a lot of lower tier racing, so I'm going to take your word for it on that. But that Red Bull Driver Academy is stacked. It's stacked, and there's not enough seats to go around. Like, John Eric Verne will get cut at the end of the season, and that's the one cut I think I am absolutely adamant that will happen. Like, Verne will get released because he's been there for 3 years, and basically he's not Australian is the reason he's going to get cut.
I saw an interview of Verne. He was a very serious interview. He feels heartbroken and robbed because the car's let him down so many times. If you look at the amount of DNFs he's had, I think he had the most DNFs last year. And this year he's got 5. Dude's been so unlucky, and no one ever said anything about it.
And you know what as well? Verne and Ricciardo were very evenly matched.
I think it was just that Ricciardo had better qualifying pace, and that was about it.
Ricciardo just hit form at that time. It's just the way it happened.
Yeah.
He just hit
and you know what? I think Ricciardo being Australian, I think he's a little bit easier to market than a guy who's French.
Yeah.
A little bit, and you know.
I think he's just generally a bit more marketable guy in the company that Red Bull are. He's just...
I mean, look at that smile! Look at that smile!
Talk about smile.
Face.
Brings on the bling bling.
Yeah, keep the banter game in our skin. Do you see Antonio Felix da Costa or Carlos Sainz getting a Toro Rosso seat? Sainz, I think, is favourite, to be honest. I don't think da Costa will because da Costa's in Formula E, which is kicking off in 3 weeks' time. He's part of one of their teams for Formula E, so I think he'll be too busy with that to possibly guess.
And the season runs till June.
Exactly, so they'll already be in next season, unless they pull them out of that seat early. I don't see.
Or they put Verstappen in there.
Have a look here saying Sauber should have a clear out as well. Gutierrez is arguably amongst the worst drivers on the field.
He is trash.
He
so bad.
So bad.
He is. He's horrendous.
I feel almost bad for him because he looks like a 14-year-old. So he kind of gets out of the car and it's like, oh, I'm rubbish again. You're not looking at a man, you're looking at somebody who's like prepubescent and you just feel bad for it.
Yeah.
It's not really haven't dropped yet. And I remember being on Athlete's podcast, The Finish Line, and we were talking about Formula One wags. And there was a picture of Gutierrez and his girlfriend, and I swear to God, it looked like there was some incest going on there. Like his girlfriend.
They're Mexican. What do you want? I can't say that.
And we're going off the air in about 5 seconds.
It's gonna be like Top Gear all over again.
Eeny, meeny, miny, mo, catch it, by the toe. Eeny, meeny, yeah, Gutierrez is terrible. He's done nothing. He's had 1 point scoring drive in his career after over 30 Grand Prix. Actually, I take that back. I think this last Grand Prix in Spa was his 30th. So.
Sutil was good at one time. I will never forget. Monaco 2008.
He's always been
when he was in fifth place. No, I thought he was good at one time. He was rated very highly when he first came in 06. I remember watching. I was watching sport back then. They really rated him highly. But
Sutil's always been mediocre.
Yeah.
When he first came in, they thought he'd be pretty good. But I'll never forget Monaco 08 when he was in fifth place, and then Raikkonen had to hit him up the rear.
That was just down to strategy more than anything. He just lost the car.
Yeah, you think even like Bianchi managed to get a points finish at Monaco in that Marussia?
Yeah, let's be real here. Under conventional circumstances, Marussia wouldn't be scoring shit.
Yeah. And it's the same with that Force India.
Yeah.
But they got the points, and that's what counts.
Right. Just quickly butt in. I'll be back in about 10-15 minutes.
Alright, see you in a bit. Yeah, I agree with what Stockmat's saying. I think Sauber probably have the weakest driver lineup in the whole team.
Yeah.
Because Sutil has always been mediocre. He's never been good.
Yeah.
He's gone over 100 Grand Prix. I don't know how he even got a second chance, to be honest, after he freaking lost that dude. He glassed a dude, if I'm not mistaken, and he brought back by Force India at the 11th hour when everyone and their mother was telling Force India, give Bianchi a shot. And like everybody, like was saying, give Bianchi a go, and they ended up bringing back Sutil. Like, oh.
Yeah.
Just on Gutierrez, last season Hulkenberg had 10 points finishes and Gutierrez had one.
No, Singapore.
It's Suzuka.
No,
7th in
Japan,
Suzuka.
I think he beat Rosberg that day, which was like a minor.
Yeah, he did. And Hamilton retired.
Conspiracy.
Vettel hit his tyre on purpose. It's a conspiracy. They're favouring the Germans. Okay. Question, fellas. What do you make of the Hamilton-Rosberg drama?
Overhyped.
Yeah. It's just I'm a Hamilton fan. I'll get my coat now and leave.
Yeah,
please. But it's just a lot of it is just like overblown by the media and everything. But I think Rosberg really hasn't done anything wrong. He's kept a level head throughout the season. Hamilton at times has just been Hamilton, like at Monaco.
Oh, he told him to move over.
And yeah, I think Rosberg is a lot of the bad things that he's done, supposedly like Monaco, have just been overblown by the British media. I mean, I don't know what's like going on in other countries, but I think it's just the British media more than anything that have overhyped it also.
I have a theory.
We always do.
I have a theory on this, right? If anyone bothers me on Ask FM, you know I get a heap of shit about Hamilton. It's unavoidable. Like it's on a weekly basis, but this is the first time we've had a British title contender since 2010, I would say, when Hamilton was in part of that four-way scrap with him, Alonso, Webber, and Vettel. And I'm guessing this is quite a surprising new thing for the Brits to have a proper title contender since the era of Vettel we've just come through. And basically, you're right. Like, because Hamilton is the headlining guy, and because he's the biggest star in the sport now, I would say, between him and Alonso, toss the coin. It's kind of like it all seems like they're trying to stir the pot. And until Monaco happened, it seemed like they were really trying to crank it.
Just trying for
it wasn't
story.
really there. That's kind of how I feel about it. And because Hamilton's a title contender for the first time in about, well, since 2010, really, you know, they're all getting really excited that Hamilton might win a title again. It's like, oh, Hamilton's back. He's been unleashed. He's been unshackled from the plight of McLaren and that pesky German that won't go away.
I have to say though that like every time Hamilton's had a competitive teammate, so Alonso, Button to some extent, and now Rosberg, there have been problems after a while. Not so much with Heikki because I think he was pretty much better than him.
Heikki was there to make up the numbers.
So I don't. It's really nothing new. It's just because it's only those two for the championship that it's been kind of blown up, really.
Not to mention, we Brits don't like the Germans. I think there's still a lot of flowing back for animosity in Germany from the English because.
I will say I've always stood by this. Rosberg for me is nothing amazing of a driver. Same as Massa or Button. For me, I mean, Button's good in changeable conditions, but they're nothing like. So you look at Vettel. He's known for his super consistency. You look at Hamilton, he's known for being the absolute best when the car's working for him. Alonso is known for his outright pace in driving whatever shit car he's got. Schumacher was known for like doing quali laps in a car when it was on race fuel. Everyone's got their own traits.
I'll say this. Rosberg has not had, I don't think has ever had a spectacular 10 out of 10 performance in Formula 1.
No.
Not one
it's just
at least.
He drives his own race, he buys his time, and he's been very consistent with the car. He looks after his car, hence why he's had less retirements, and Canada's a perfect example of this. He looked after his car better and managed to get to the finish line. So that's obviously, I think that might give him the edge in the championship, but overall, Hamilton's a much better driver for me. I don't think he's brilliant, Rosberg, but that's just me.
Yeah, I think you've got like the top tier of drivers, and then Rosberg has always been classified in that second tier.
Nice freeze frame.
Nice Wi-Fi there, Dre.
That is a very puzzled look.
Yeah. I wonder what he's thinking about.
And it's still there.
I thought my connection was bad.
I thought mine was bad.
And he's gone.
Oh, right. Well, that's gone well, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Shall we? I don't know.
I don't know what
we can't hijack the stream because it'll probably end in a second because he's internet.
Yeah.
We could like take every stream and plug all our channels in.
Yeah, let's do it.
Right, let's go.
Okay.
Oh,
Has it-
Dre.
Has it ended or not?
I don't know. I don't want to try because my internet will just go through the floor.
No, I think we're still online on the video.
All right.
Are we?
Yeah, it's just he's not there.
I'll send him a
shit.
link. If he wants to join back.
He's streaming for me. So look. Yeah, we're still going.
That's okay.
Fair enough.
So we will talk about
Plugging our channels.
Yeah.
I want to keep the stream up, see if it still keeps on going.
Does anybody else want to say anything about Hamilton and Rosberg?
Yes, I do. You watch.
Let's go.
Mark my words, I said it before. It's going to come down to the final race with double points. Everybody hates double points, but because Hamilton's got to try and win it thanks to double points, if he does win it because of that, everybody will love it. It won't be a problem.
Yeah, everybody hated double points because they thought that Vettel was going to come back into the title and end up winning it on double points. But now they love it because Hamilton's going to possibly win it on double points. So.
Yeah, and if he does, everybody will love it. Oh, that's not a problem. It's fine. Yeah, I love the rule. It's brilliant. Yeah, it's a great idea. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Until it happens next year to someone else against Hamilton. So you can't really win, can you?
No. Well, Sky F1 is just Hamilton. It's basically Sky Sports.
It's actually, I actually think it's quite embarrassing that like our F1 channel is just like so biased. It's so ridiculous. Did anyone see that poll that they did the other day about driver of the season, and Hamilton got like 70-odd%?
Yeah, Hamilton won it quite comfortably from Ricardo and Bottas.
Exactly. It's
really Ricardo's been driver of the season.
Yeah, it has. Yeah.
I live in Spain, but I can smell the bullshit from here. Oh, right. That's just so bad. The bias just hurts.
Yeah, it does. It really hurts. There's so much bias from our main channel. Just
yeah.
It is. People say how is been lucky and all that. I'm a Schumacher fan, and I'm going to be biased here and say, if you actually go back in history and look how much bad luck Schumacher had in 2012, that's bad luck. Every single race in the first half of the season, I don't think he finished the race. And if he did, it'd be because he started last and he finished 10th. He got a point. And that's bad. And then when the car was good, it was shit. When it's reliable, the car turned into utter shit. And it didn't score any points in the second half of the season until Abu Dhabi.
I mean, it's people like Vern and Kvyat who have had like really bad luck. Like however many retirements they've had like 10 between them or something. I mean, it's just so much emphasis on it when it's for a championship. It's like Hamilton's had. Has Hamilton had 2 DNFs? And Rosberg's had 1.
2.
He had Canada and
Australia.
Australia. And Rosberg's had Silverstone, so there's 1 race in it basically. And the one in Canada, Rosberg had the same problem as well. So when you think about that, then it's exactly the same.
How confused is Ed going to be that Dre's disappeared?
Well, this took much.
I just saw a comment saying the reason Williams are doing well now is because they're taking money from those crashes.
So, where did Dre go?
He
just
lagged
lost
all
connection.
Nice.
So we've hijacked his channel.
Oh, nice.
I think Ben,
Are we still
I think
live?
Ben got
We're still
involved.
live.
So there's 5 of us. There's 5 of us. We'll have 1,000 subscribers each. If that's all right.
Yeah.
Let's do it.